Hello plant friends, it's Sierra the Festive Bohemian, and today I've got a little Etsy plant haul for you. Some of these plants have been on my wish list. I'm kind of at this place where I love rare plants, I do, but I can't bring myself to spend that money on a plant. I just can't. One way that you can get some of these higher priced plants in your collection with not really spending quite as much money is by getting what they call chonks, or even, single node cuttings. So today I have a few chunks and some other plants. Let's just get right into it. So I also want to go through my process. I find that the best way to kind of transition plants into your home is through prop boxes. I know I talk about them a lot, but I just love them, so that's why I do. Most of our houseplants are tropical plants that are used to higher humidity levels, so they typically just love and thrive in this environment. If you can make a prop box for just specifically, the plants that you get in from a shipment before you put them in with the rest of the family, then that is a good practice to get into. There's 2 packages that I got, so 2 different orders from Etsy from 2 different sellers. Plant numero uno is the Rhaphidophora, hey! And as you can see over here, when I was opening him up, he did look a little bit better, but he was starting to get some yellowing leaves. So what I think happened is he just stayed wet for a little bit longer than he wanted, because they're, in that enclosed package, they're not getting sun. And then when I brought him home, I actually didn't put him in the prop box right away. I did leave him out. Now it's still a little damp now, but from my experience with shingling plants and any epiphytic plant, they don't like to be in wet soil for too long. That's my best guess why he's not loving life right now. I'm still hopeful he's gonna be fine. I actually plan to put him on a piece of wood or mount him on something. That's what I have my Dischidia imbricata growing on, a piece of wood, and I'll show you here what he looks like. But I got this. I'm just looking at it to see if there's bugs on it. But I got this from big plant sale that was going on last weekend. And I was like, oh yeah, this is a nice big chunker. So I might put the Dischidia on here. I might put a couple plants on here because that guy is pretty small. But that's the plan for that guy. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a nice bright light, and hopefully he figures his life out. That would be great. But next up, we have the plant I really wanted, which was on the wish list. And I always feel like I have to get more than one plant when I order. I don't know if just me, but I can't just order one plant, especially when you have to pay for shipping and stuff. You gotta get more than one. So that was the Rhaphidophora. Just wanted to add another shingling plant to my collection because I've really been loving them. So yeah, but the real star of the show here is this philodendron gigas. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. That's what Google told me to say, so we're going with it. And it's spelled gigas though. Or was it giga? No. Gigas? Oh shoot. It was gigas. Okay, we're going with gigas, yeah. I'm really excited about this guy. He's got that nice velvety foliage. This is a pretty fresh leaf here. These ones are a little bit more dark green. Nice and velvety. Again, it's got a little bit of cosmetic damage. Hoping there's no pest. but it's a good idea to always check your plants when you get them. So the plan for this guy is to give him a nice moss pole, something to climb, because as he grows up the pole, his leaves will get nice and big. And I want to do the same thing to my philodendron micin, which has the same velvety leaf. I just love those velvety leaves, right? How can you not? Now this guy can tolerate a bit of lower light conditions. Usually when they have those velvety leaves, that's a sign. He'll still prefer a nice bright light, but you do want to avoid direct sun with this guy because it can burn his foliage, which that could even just be sun damage as well. So if you want to protect those beautiful leaves, just make sure to avoid direct sun, or at least extended, because it may be able to handle or tolerate a little bit, but too much is gonna be too much. So that was package number 1. Now let's go package number 2, which as I mentioned, we got some chunks here to show you. So move that on over, and oh, I forgot you to put, actually I'm gonna unpot you, so never mind. All right, so package numero dos, which is actually, so it's funny too because I initially was going to Etsy not to buy any of these plants, like, so they're on my wish list, but I really wanted some anthurium seeds to start to grow, because obviously it's going to be less expensive than buying the full grown plant, and I enjoy the process of growing plants, so I was really just trying to see if I could find any seeds that I could do myself. And I don't know if I'm just looking in all the wrong places. If you know where to get anthurium seeds, let me know, because there was some sketchy looking sites too that were like, oh, we have anthurium, and I'm like, I don't believe you. Anyways, the only one that said they had it looked like a scam, so I don't know where I'm supposed to get these anthurium seeds from. If you know, please let me know in the comments. The best I could find was seedling, so I do have an anthurium seedling and some chunks to show you. First up, we've got a Hoya. So this plant was like, you know, the last minute addition to the cart, and it is the Hoya Bella Albo variegated. When I originally got it, it wasn't rooted, but now we've got a little bit more roots there. Here's the front side of him. And I felt a little misled when I got this guy because the picture, you know, shows the full, like a full cutting. But my fault, I didn't read the description. It did say it was a single node cutting, and technically this is 2 nodes. So I technically, you know, got extra, I guess. But in the picture, it's like, you know, they're holding the whole stem of a plant. Actually 2 of them. She had 2 of them and she was holding them. And I was like, yeah. And I just saw, like, I was thinking I just got one of those stems, you know. You have to read the whole thing and understand what you're getting. My fault for not reading, right? So I'll put here kind of like my setup with them right now. They're under a grow light, and I just wanted to keep them inside so I could look at them more. But they came in cups like this, right? And then I just took another cup and put it like that to create a little dome. Now, the only plant I would say you wouldn't want to do this to, like, don't be doing this to succulents. Any desert dish plant you're gonna kill it. Also, I forgot to mention that the Hoya Bella, when I got him, as you can see here, he had a little bit of like white stuff on it, like fluffy stuff. And at first I was like, oh no, but it turned out to just be white mold or powdery mildew, which happens when your plant isn't getting enough airflow, and because it was packaged and you know, it just was not getting airflow to it. So I just had to clean it off with some rubbing alcohol and water, whatever, and your plant will be fine. So don't stress if that happens. It can be a little bit alarming because it looks like mealybugs, but don't worry. Next up, I've got an Anthurium forgetti. Anthurium forgetti mixed with a Anthurium magnificum. And here he is, this little cutie. So I'm really excited about this guy. He's got some new growth there. As you can see, that little white fuzzy thing there. Little fresh little root. So cute. Ugh. I feel like I need to add more sphagnum here, support him a little better and get those roots nice and cozy. 2 more plants, and they are some chunks. So here we go. I'm saving the best for last. Next up is Philodendron verrucosum, or I believe it's also called Amazon Sunset. Scarlet Amazon Sunset. Nonetheless, it's this guy. And he's been putting out some growth for me. So super excited about this guy. Look at that. There's a growth point. There's a growth point. A little root coming out there. So yeah, there's chunk number 1. And I have him in this little container with my other plant that I'm about to show you. Oh, wait, which way was he facing? So I have him in sphagnum moss, and when you place the chunks in the sphagnum, just kind of bury him in there so he's nice and cozy, and I try to put that growth point there facing upwards and the little roots facing downwards, like that. Whatever looks like the healthiest root is what I'll kind of base my positioning of, because I want him to just be right in that sphagnum. And then I'll cover it here with this lid. This is just like a takeout container, and you can put it under the grow light or you can put it in bright indirect light. Either works. Alright, last but definitely not least is the Anthurium wildqueenum, which I have in the same container here with my other chunk. He hasn't put out anything like too substantial yet. Oh, wait a second. Is that? It is, you guys, I just noticed. Look it, can you see it? A fresh little juicy root coming out. Oh, that's great. I was just about to say that I haven't made much progress on this guy, but that makes me feel so much better, you know? There we go. Yes, okay. See, his roots are pretty obvious there, so, you know, I just put him like this. Tuck him in like he's going to bed, nice and cozy. I love rooting all of my plants in sphagnum. I love when I get plants in sphagnum. It's just my preferred way. Some people prefer perlite, some people prefer other things. I prefer sphagnum because from my experience, everything loves sphagnum. Don't let the sphagnum dry out too much. It should always have like some moisture to it, but you don't want it to be soaking all the time. You want your plants to be able to have a little bit of a drying period. I just gave this guy a little bit more water, and I included liquid dirt in with the water, so I just mix in this concentrate, this organic concentrate. It's not meant to be a fertilizer per se, but it does include you know, some nutrients for your plants. My plants seem to love it. So I've had these guys for, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks now. So that's the update. I actually got this one before I got the other ones. Before I got these ones. So I've had these guys for a little bit longer, and they were all packaged in sphagnum, and guess what? They are all the happiest. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna move this guy out of here, because he is not looking happy. But overall, I am satisfied with my order, and I'll definitely be ordering more plants from Etsy. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, and I do this every week. I come on here and talk about plants and plant styling and that sort of thing. Did I say this was my first time purchasing chunks? Because it is. I've grown my own plants from chunks, like 1 or 2, but not a lot. Everything is working out. We're doing good. So I removed him from the dirt. So I decided I'm gonna put him in this container that I found. So I've got some sphagnum, might need more. The roots still look really nice, so not root rot, but his stems were getting a little yellow, which I believe is an indication of just him being in water for longer than he wanted. But I think he'll be happy in here. So we're gonna pot him up. Once he starts looking a little happier, I'll probably move him to be mounted on that piece of wood I showed you earlier. Putting him in the sphagnum also allows these little nodes to root as well, so I think it'll, you know, up his chances of survival. All good in the hood.